Hi, I'm Linda.
And I'm Troy, and we're Wines, Pines, and Canines. Recently, after returning from a trip, I realized that something had broken on the way back, and it's something I don't like to travel without. So it got me thinking, what are the other things that I should have a spare of?
Yes, and as more and more campers are hitting the road, we thought we would share with you the 5 inexpensive items that we always like to carry 2 of, and a couple bonus items that we just don't like to be without.
Today we're going to talk about 5 inexpensive items that give me the peace of mind that when I get on the road, at least I can get to my destination and at least get back.
Now, today's video is going to be a little shorter than our normal videos, and the reason is we did something really stupid this week.
Yep.
And we killed the battery in the camper. So now if you've watched our last week's video where we went camping in Shenandoah, you know that we had planned to upgrade the battery. But we had some ideas of how to kind of send the battery off in style, and we we're going to, do some planning before we move forward. Well, we've had to make some adjustments this week. So in the future, we're going to have a video that tells you what stupid mistake we did make so you guys don't do it. And we're going to talk about what we're doing to get us back on the road. So if you'd like to see those videos, please remember to
like and subscribe. And
remember, Desi always wants you to hit that notification bell.
Now let's head over to the camper. The first item I want to talk about is a part that failed me recently on a trip. It's what got me thinking about making a video about the things you need to have extras of when you're on the road. The part that failed me was the emergency breakaway cable. This product attaches on the frame of the trailer, generally runs forward and attaches somewhere around the vicinity of the hitch. If for whatever reason the trailer becomes separated from the truck, that's a bad thing, but both tires will immediately seize as soon as this cable pulls this little black device out of this unit. When it does, it might not save your trailer, but it may very well save the life of somebody beside you or behind you in traffic. Now, what failed on mine unit was the one that came original with the camper. It rusted through. I'm going to assume it's not a very uncommon event, so we replaced it. I also bought a spare, so when this one fails, upon my inspection between trips, I can replace it. All right, now number 2 on the list. Now this item is going to vary from owner to owner based on what you tow and how you tow it. I have a Fastway E2 hitch weight distribution system. It has metal bars that project from the hitch back to the frame. It's held in place by these little L-clips. These little L-clips are locked in place with these Cotter keys that go in like that. Now, this system is fine, but it presents a problem. You have 2 different items that if you lose either one, you're in trouble. That's why recently I purchased these pins. These are great. These pins lock down like the others, but the Cotter key is built in. That solves a lot of problems. Because you can lose these Cotter keys, I want to branch now into number 3. Number 3 on my list ties right to it. Always have spare Cotter keys when you leave and you go on a trip, because you're apt to lose them, break them, bend them, discard them. With extras, you never have to worry about that. Number 4 on our list is definitely not an item that gets a lot of attention, but if you lose it like I'm apt to do, you'll want to have a few spares. It's a coupler pin. Coupler pins can be found most inexpensively at Tractor Supply, Agri Supply for just a few bucks. We use them for the electric power tongue jack to lock down this support, and we also use them to lock down the hitch. Now the 5th item on my list is just as important as the previous 4, hitch pins. Hitch pins present one benefit that some of the other items don't. These are very readily available across America at Walmart's. On almost every corner you can find a hitch pin. And the reason you need to have a couple of these around is if this hitch pin should fail, you should lose it, you should drop it, misplace it. If you got a couple spares in your bag, you don't have to worry about it. Now, every one of these items are important. Some of them are absolutely essential to towing. Some of them are absolutely essential for safety and peace of mind. For $40 and keeping these in my bag, I don't have to worry about it last minute. It's a little bit less anxiety when I'm getting ready to depart or getting ready to head back to the house. Now I'm going to show you one more extra bonus item in just a moment. My bonus item is this. It's made and distributed at Harbor Freight. It's called T-Rex waterproof tape. This is really important to keep a roll of this around. I don't think it's like $8 or something. But what it'll do for you is if you get a rock that punctures this very brittle ABS supply tube on the underside of your camper with a rock, a piece of road debris, maybe the potable storage tanks, the gray tanks, the black tanks, anything gets a hole in it, waterproof tape might be just the ticket to button this thing up and get you to the house without wrecking your trip.
Okay, so here's my bonus item. Now, I love to be out on the road. I think most of us do. That's why we're doing what we're doing. But what I don't like is not knowing where I am going. Now, I do think that most, if not all of us, do have a built-in GPS into our phones or our vehicles. But there have been plenty of times with Troy and I traveling this country into remote areas or national parks that I'm finding that GPS is not working. So for 15 years, Troy and I traveled this country by car using an atlas. Now this is the new 2022 Road Atlas that I just got off of Amazon, and I really like this one. One of the things I like most is it has a lot of detail on many of the national parks. It gives me phone numbers, it gives me points of interest, and it shows me a detailed map inside each park. And then of course you always have the standard road maps for all the different states. So I know that most of us live in a digital world, but sometimes it's good to have an analog backup.
All right, Linda, now that we don't have to worry about getting to or from our trips, what should we do?
Well, Troy, I think it's time to relax. And for that, we have a spare as well. But for today, that about wraps it up. Now, for anyone that did watch the video last week and are curious what happened to the birds, stick around. We'll show a few minutes of the babies as they leave the nest and start their own journey. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Happy camping and safe travels.